Hi everyone. Today I'd like to present slash explain you how to convert a FBX model to a VRM through Unity 2019.4.3 F1 with the help of Univrm SDK. Before we get too deep in this whole thing, let me simplify to you what the VRM is. A VRM stands as a standardized file format for a 3D avatar. It can be cross-platform compatible across various applications. Basically, it's an all-in-one data package with 3D mesh, texture, skeleton, and metadata. It can also have precise facial movement data for realistic expression, also known as ARKit. But today, I will only touch the simple part of exporting a VRM, not the fancy little things and all around it. All right, to begin with, what we want to make sure is that with your Unity Hub, you have installed the 2019.4.3 F1. I'll put in the description below where to get it on the Unity website. Um, but since it's an older version, you might have to install it and then locate it in your computer. So let's see that we want to start a new project. We'll go and click on new project, select a 3D core build. You can name it, here I'm gonna name it like tutorial VRM exporter. And you can select like a specific location. And if you have a Unity Cloud, blah, 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 usually you keep it on check here because you want to do your things by yourself often. But hey, we don't know. Maybe you're a big business and you're doing video game stuff. So we'll see. So click on create project and Unity should open up. It might take some time, it depends on your computer and everything. All right, now that Unity is finally open and everything, you want to take your UniVRM file, the SDK, and drag and drop it into Unity. If you want to let me, there you go. And then it's gonna prepare the package, and you can import. Also, to note, for all your files and everything, usually you should be getting like a nice folder with everything like already set up in it, like with an OBJ file that says where's the FBX is in, and the textures, and maybe a README note. Those are important things. Um, but yeah, you should have your FBX in here and your textures. All right. Once the Unity VRM has been put in and you have accepted it and it has been loaded in properly, you should have all those nice folders at the bottom. And what I would do to keep everything organized, I would create another folder by right clicking and selecting adding and creating a new folder and calling it the name of your model or the client. So here we're just gonna call it tutorial Hoyshii VRM. And I'm gonna go in it. And since I have everything already all set up and clean, we can go and grab our model and drag and drop it in here. And also our textures. You can have like stuff very more like cleanly organized. Like in here, you could create another folder and call it textures as well. And in this, you go and like drag and drop your textures in. I'm just grabbing it all. To note that they all have the proper name. That's because of Substance Painter that kind of like already set up like your which one has like the name of roughness, height, emissives, and all. And yeah, the purple ones, like bluish ones, are your normals. So now that everything has been dropped in here, so I can like make this a bit fuller because yeah, I had everything on my desktop there. So we have our texture in the texture folder in Unity and our model here. So what I would do to start with is to go on the right side under the inspector under model, and I would go and check read and write and legacy blend shape normal and apply them. Then in rig, I would go under animation type and insert humanoid. Humanoid. Sorry, my English sometimes is potato. In animation, I wouldn't touch anything. And in materials, I would do extract materials and go get like the file that you have down here. And for this, the quickest way. Okay, I'm already in the right folder. I'm gonna show you right after. But yeah, you select this, and everything should be populate in here. So now you have like those weird sphere that are the materials. And since we put all our textures in before, it knows which one should be fitting in this since we did it on Blender first, if I'm right. But as you can see, there's only the albedo, that's our main texture, and the emission that's been put in. If you'd had like a normal, you might need to go and put it in again, like here, and fix the normal names. And here, like all the smoothness were put to the top, so we can go and maybe play with those to like just put nothing on, or depends on how you feel pretty much and what's your desire, your taste, and everything. Um, but yeah, that's like the standard shader. But in as a VRM, you can also use another shader called what's the name again? It's under VRM MTune. VRM MTune. So you can convert them all as a VRM MTune. It has like another type of like feels to the texture. You can also have a like a rim, an outline, and everything. But we can play with that later once we see the character on scene. Also, as you can see, I selected multiple material at the same time. On Windows, to select multiple, you just hold Control and you go and click them all. So you can like set up some stuff all at the same time instead of going one at a time. Now that we have our textures in, we can double click or click on the little arrows beside your FBX model at the bottom. Go on your like weird blue little puppet at the end there. On the right top side, go on configure avatar. This should bring you in a new different weird of like window slash interface. And in here, often, if some things are named like wrongly or anything, you can go and change them by either clicking on the little like circle target at the end of their name and search for them in here, or like by searching like I don't know if this one has toes, yeah, toes, whatever, which one you want, and select them in here, or you can come and just drag and drop him from like one side to the other side in the preferred section. Sometime, from what I understood, you don't want to have upper chest bones in here. So if you have something, you may prefer to put it at none. To put something at none, It's the same as earlier when you want to assign something. You click on the target at the end, and you enter just, you can say just none, not note, but none, and select this one, and it should be put it at none. Sometime like there's gonna be mix also with like the toes, the foot, there's gonna be ankles and stuff, so you may want to play with those. And an important one is if you're planning on using blend shape based animation for your mouth movement, you'll want to put the jaw here as none actually, because otherwise it's gonna be stiff like a rock. It just wouldn't move properly. So you put that there, and you could do apply. And also, one important information I would like to guys to know: if it's your model is not in proper T pose, like let's say my character is like this and it's not in a proper T pose anymore, you can go and go right here under like beside mapping. There's pose, and you can either reset or enforce T pose. By enforcing T pose, it may try to put it properly. But here we're probably gonna reset and enforce T-pose, and everything's fixed again to the proper way. But yeah, sometimes your model might not come like in a proper T-pose, might have like some weird like one arm a bit higher than the other. Like it's not everyone that like have the proper skills in creating a proper rig and all, and I'm still very new at this, but it works, so I'm happy. But I won't be explaining too much into this whole shebang of things. Also, you can go in oh yeah, I forgot apply. Okay. You can go in muscle and settings up here and test if things move like you want, if it's things are following or not. So that's usually when you'd be deciding if you go ahead with your current FBX model, or if you want to go back in your software of choice like Blender to fix some stuff. And sometimes like here my hair are already connected to my head, but often what I would be doing for people is to have the hair bones out, and you can like remove them and add them back on your head and stuff like that, so they're usually like offsets like separate from the main armature, so they wouldn't be following right here. All right, and then we press done, and we're back here in the regular version of Unity. Well, regular scene. Then to bring our character in the scene, what I would do personally is to come here at the bottom, get our VX model, click on it, drag and drop it in the sample scene here in the hierarchy. That will make so our character appears in our scene. So right now I'm just scrolling on the model, looking at the model, and yeah, the character seems at the center and everything. But let's say that the model would have been like populated somewhere, or instead of putting it here, you put it on the scene and just like spawn on the other side of the world, like over there. And you want it here back again. What you can do is click on your character here on under the hierarchy once, and on the right side under transform, on the position, the X, the Y, and the Z, you put them at 0, and the model should come back at the center if your models it has like a proper center and everything. As you can see, mine has a weird thing about the tail. Usually it should be like more in the model or at their feet, but it works for now, so it's fine. We won't be going too deep into that. So, starting here, you have your model. You can see if you go lower here, you open these, you have all your bones, you have some elements. Like I can hide the fluff in my ears by clicking on the check mark at the right side. You can also, I think, hide them through the hierarchy. Here, there's an eye that you can hide. You can also disable the option to click on them and like interact with them. So yeah, I can hide my chest fluff, my ear fluff, my hair. I look goofy like that. But yeah, these are some options. And like I said earlier, if I have like an item that's like full on separate to my model, just to explain to you all how to kind of do things. Or maybe I could import something in my model. 2 seconds. Alright, to show you guys like how to connect stuff to your model, or how to move an item to your model. Like here it's obviously not the right size and everything, but like just scale it the size that you want, put it the way you want. And like here's like a weird MF reader that I had made like a while back. So you would want like, oh, I want it on my hands here. So you would like put it where you want it. Like, oh, I want it here. And that's our right hand. So you go and look in the hierarchy for your right hand. Chest, shoulder, right shoulder, upper arm, forearm, hand. You would go and grab the model here and drag and drop it on their hand. And now later, if we go and press play, first time compiling, go under scene and move your model, this would follow. I don't know if okay, yeah, it's here is broken, but still, if you would be moving your arms, I would follow. It's like broken in here for some reason right now, but yeah. And it's a bit the same for like you had an armature, or like the tail would be not connected, or my hair would not be connected. Um, you'd be taking its armature. Like let's say that the fluff 0.001 here would be the armature. I could go and drag and drop it where it's supposed to be at. Come like here, the fluff is following like my chest, or I don't know what, but it's following something, either my hair or whatever. I would connect it to the proper bone linked to it for it to follow properly. Let's just remove this thing. Boop, a little bit of Control Z. And now it's out. So, from here, our model, let's say that our model, we want outlines. We can go and click all the materials, except the eyes, because that might look weird. Wait, did I click something else? Oh, I clicked something that was not supposed to be. All our materials except the eyes. Go on outline, world coordinate, and now as you can see there's some outlines. And I think there's something wrong with model here. And here too. They're probably the faces aren't on the right side for some reason. But still, that's how you would be adding you'd be adding outlines. I'm so confused as to why it's like that. Okay, yeah, the faces are on the wrong side, but yeah, you could like make it like thicker, lighter. There's also the scene version that react dependingly on, I think, the position. It's a lot of information that I don't really fully understand yet. That's why I'm trying to go study technique in video games this fall. To understand this more, because let's say I'm struggling a little bit, but I do. It's doable. All right. So now you have all your materials, your models in, your bones are set. You can go and select your model once, click at the top here under VRM 0 and select export to VRM 0. What I often like to do, because it's gonna populate like a folder in your section here, to create a folder named VRM. So yeah, you're gonna go click your model, VRM, export VRM, and here you can set a picture if you want. And then enter, like, here's a tuto Hoyshii version 1 or whatever version it is, and the other is Hoyshii Zira. That's like my kind of like business name. All right. So then you click export and you select your folder that's here. Often it's gonna be under assets. Here is the tutorial Hoyshii VRM, and then VRM, and you save it there. It's gonna take a little while depending on how big is your model in terms of how many blend shapes, how many bones, the textures, if they're like 4K textures or animation in the model. But the problem with VRM compare to like creating a model for VRChat is that when you do this part of exporting to a VRM file, it kind of like, if you had dynamic bones, they won't exist anymore. If you had like fishbone as well, fishbone, dynamic bones, if you had already set up animation, there won't be existing. You have to recreate them. It's like a whole new model. It's not the same FBX as before. It's like another entity completely. So we're gonna hide our model that was the original, the FBX one. And now in the VRM file at the bottom, when you go in it, there should be a new model that is now an actual FBX, not FBX, but VRM model. So do the same as earlier. Grab your model and bring it into the hierarchy. It looks the same and everything, but now on the side here, you have some properties and everything for your model. But before doing so, I'm gonna show you how to add some physic-ish to your model. Simple ones, but they do work for what we want. So here, let's say that we want your tail to be able to jiggle when you move left to right, or like my ears here, they like move a bit. They're not stiff. To have them move, you want to like get here the tail. Open the tail by out clicking on the arrow. It's gonna open the whole set of bones. Select the last one. Here is because how I exported my model in Blender, I forgot to remove the leaf bone. Leaf bone or like ends bone that are added extra that can help animators move the rig, the model. But I'm still gonna click on this to set it up. But it's better not to have those for those kind of models, I feel like. And then on the right side, under add component, you're gonna search for spring bone. And here you have a few, and you want the VRM spring bone. That's gonna add this section to it, this component to it. And under root bone that you can open up, you're gonna go and drag and drop either the first bone or the second. Depends on how you feel and what result you want. And drag and drop it on the root bone. This would then add up like a chain to each bone of the model. And if we go and press play, going to scene, select our model and pivot it. Now our tail has some sort of movement. There's a lot of settings that you can play with. Like here we have like gravity. It depends also like here, since the VRM, it only takes spring bones. But if it would be a VSF avatar, it would be able to have dynamic bones, and there's like much more options. Same for like if it's a VR chat avatar, has fizz bone. Fizz bones are amazing. You can grab them and everything. Here I could like add colliders so when my hands could add colliders to my hands and let it know that when I touch my tail with my hands, it would like move away from it and stuff like that. But same again, I'm only showing you the bases. So yeah, you can play with all of this, add a hit radius, a stiffness force, and all. Test it out, move it. Like, oh yeah, here I like it, even though that's would not be where I would be adding it as. And if you get out of the scene play button, you're gonna lose all the setup you put it in. So how to keep things? What I do is one by one. Here I did the tail, so I'm gonna go and right click on this, copy component, go back on the regular mode out of play button, and then here it change. So I do a right click and paste component value. So all the value from before should have been added in. So if you go back and play, the tail is now has an effect of gravity and everything, like we set it up before. So yeah, usually I would be doing this for my ears, for my hair, for if you had wings or bone fluff or any kind of like physic type of like movement that you want on your model. And so here, if we continue and we select our model and we look at all of these, can be confusing. But the basic things I often do, even though I'm not sure if it's part of the proper workflow, I just go and grab my main camera. I put it as the target here under VRM, look at head script. And I go get my head. I think it's just populate the bottom section here. But yeah, go and get my head. And put it here. Yeah, it just showed it up down here. Big head. And then also I would go and grab under VRM blend shape proxy script. I'll be going and double clicking on the blend shape avatar thingy here. That would bring me into the blend shape. Yay! Some models might not come with blend shapes. So if they don't have any blend shape, you don't have to do anything here. So yeah, to set up like everything, you'd go like A and go get the value of A to the max. You can also have like here at the bottom an example of the changes you set in the value here. So like A, E. If you're someone that does a lot of like VRM conversion like this, I would like recommend to look for other type of like SDK to add on top of this, so you can have it auto populate. Yeah, blink. You search for blink. Here the model has an AR kit, so there's like a shit ton of blend shapes. That's very normal. And like if you want to add, let's say I'm just gonna give you like a tiny heads up on how ARKit would work. You would be going on create the blend shape clip here. And like, let's say here we want I look up left. You'd be typing the exact same thing in here. Like I look up left. And then you would create a new clip here, blend shape clip. And then you'd be able to go and grab your I look up left. And that's how you create ARKit. You would be creating every single of these and assign them one by one. So we'll just go and set in the blink left and blink right. So that would be all for this. Just need to like fill all of those up. Sometimes might not have the look down, look left, look right, look up. I probably have them since I have a ARKit. But just to speed this up, I won't be adding them. But also to note, let's say that you want A or Sorrow or any of those, you can also mix and match some of them. Like I could have like the blink here plus mouth sad or another one, I don't know, a blip. You can mix and match them all together. Just to note that it might do weird mixing here and here. Might look weird. So, from here, you have pretty much everything set up. If you did all your bones, all your blend shapes, your textures are in, you can still at this point go in your VRM file at the bottom here. And if you need to tweak your texture, I just don't know which one it is. If you need to tweak your texture, it's still possible. You can still edit them in here. Doesn't matter much here. But you can't really go and modify your model in Blender and then exported it and you're there already. You're gonna have to do like the previous part before we did the first VRM export. But yeah, usually you'd be good. And then here, since everything is all up, you can just go again, select your model, go under VRM at the top, export, set your things here like you want, put a nice picture if you want, do export, select where you want to export your VRM file. So here I'm just gonna go in like the VRM tutorial, VRM, we'll call it like this. Put it in there. It's gonna load up. Might take some time. Also depends on how big your model is. And it should show up in here as a VRM. And depending on the software you want to use. Personally, I do recommend Vinyan and VCFace. There are some other also out there, but I just don't know really how they work fully on yet. But you can just select this one and add it in the software and it should work. That's it. That's all. And also VRM files, for anyone that want to know, should work for like Beat Sabers if you use Live. Like any things that work with Live, the software LIV, it should work. And some other games like Valheim, there's mods for it to work in. And there's some other games. I just don't really remember them by heart. And I'll try to, at some point, show you guys also how to do a VSF avatar. But right now, I feel like the VRM part, like just doing a VRM, is enough. And should help you guys out to understand how to bring either my model onto a VRM more customized by you, or someone else model that you receive only as of FBX to make them work. But always make sure that your model has its bones and everything. And I'm just trying to make the life easier for everyone, because sadly I can't go on um everyone to take them by hand and helping them every single soul that need help. But I hopefully this this did help, because personally, even I was looking on the internet for FBX to VRM, and there weren't many. There were like some bring this type to VRM, but not really FBX. So yeah, hopefully this helped. Take care, everyone. See you next time. And hopefully you guys can come and see me on my Twitch channel under Hoyshii. I do stream there at least 1 to 3 to 4 times a week. That really depends on how thing goes. I do 3D there. I play games here and there. So yeah, hopefully I can see you there. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.